this Sandy Park crowd.
John Almond, maybe belatedly fighting for an England tour place in South Africa this summer. But club matters to attend to. A full house and a rousing reception guaranteed. Fitting scene for the club who have set the standards through this Premiership campaign, beaten just once here in the league this season. Worcester by a point during the Six Nations in 19 months. That's their only Premiership defeat here, and of course memories of that thrilling semi-final win over Saracens here a year ago still fresh. Rob Baxter this week asking for a step up. Training this week certainly was a step up in intensity, in physicality. That much was noticeable. Matthew Carley is our referee. Second Premiership semi-final after his activities at the Ricoh Arena last year. So we're just about ready for the off. Just 5 teams have been able to pull off a semi-final win away from home in 28 contests. It was beyond Wasps at Allianz Park earlier today. Can Newcastle overcome the odds? Saracens waiting in the final next Saturday. First touch for Henry Slade. Big White poised. And the possession game begins. To the Chiefs. Masters of the multi-phase. Content to hold on to the ball. And ask serious questions of the opposition defence. Gonover getting an early touch, which will please Newcastle, but afforded no space. Oh, now. Kyle Cooper.
Not with the hands, not with your hands.
It's there for
Not
Young.
with your hands, that's what I said.
Partially blocked by Reese, and Woodburn has it. Woodburn is off. Such a great start to the season, Ollie Woodburn. A little lull mid-season, prolific in those early matches as they move the ball into a little bit of space in the midfield. This is Sam Hill. Simmons to his older brother Sam. Those campaigns that he won't forget. Sam Simmons. Hepburn too has broken through this season. There it is for Joe Simmons once more. Lockie Turner. Last game for the Chiefs either this weekend or next. Johnny Hill on the move. Noel. Jack Noel looking to target those big front 5 forwards, but Scott Wilson equal to the task this time. Armand carries up. Simmons for Slade. Hill wide to Woodburn. Newcastle defence very strong, powerful. Driving Woodburn back and driving Exeter back behind halfway. 10th phase of possession. Not getting a whole lot of change out of the Falcons at the moment.
Yeah, really good patient defence, you've got to say, from them. Exeter playing into the wind, knowing that kicking's not really an option, so it's so important they stay onside, massive line speed, and keep Exeter shut out. 12 phases, and they're going backwards as it stands.
Yeah, they're comfortable, aren't they? They're just patient, they're just looking for a penalty opportunity. Falcons making a mistake, maybe competing a little bit too hard at the breakdown.
Show from Simmons as he explodes onto the ball. That very much the trademark of the Exeter number 8. Slade for Noel. Armands has got Lees out there on the wing. Tackled well by Matavesi. Hepburn driven back by Gary Graham. Straight up into his face. Slade again. Step up. Brilliant from Slade. Simmons on hand. Still it's kept alive. Still the Chiefs bustle forwards. The first meaningful break of the afternoon. Ewers to Lees to White. Turner. 19 phases and now progress, genuine progress from Exeter. White to Slade, kind of a nice line, but Callum Green is there waiting for him. Exeter
7 out.
setting out their stall in these early skirmishes. These Simmons, Slade, Turner closing in on the 22. 23rd phase of possession.
It's amazing because they will deliberately not try and throw any miracle passes unless that pass is on to put someone through a hole, and they'll just lull you into a false sense of security. But they've gradually moved up the field. When Mickey Young had an opportunity to bury them back into their own 22, it got charged down, they got the ball back, and they're just controlling the ball into this wind, running down the clock. That's 5 minutes gone without the Falcons really seeing the ball. Now they get their first shot. But brilliant by Henry Slade.
Yeah, absolutely.
With 14 in a good position over the ball.
You've also got to just compliment Newcastle there, but this was the break from Henry Slade which actually got him into a position here. Just talking about the players that can break it down, and Newcastle's been so comfortable. Look how quickly he just comes off his left, big right foot handoff, and then offload away to another danger runner. Those two combined in the middle of the pitch trying to pick people off comes to devastating effect. But for Newcastle, 25 phases, no penalties given away, very patient. You've got wingers competing for the ball, biding their time. A really good opening set for them.
But your 9 has to get those kicks when you get an opportunity to relieve the pressure. I know the game only just started. You have to take them and make Exeter camp down in their own 22.
Ball claimed at the line out by Evan Olmsted. Canadian national at lock for the Falcons this afternoon. Early tester for Woodburn. High tackle, so the advantage with the home side here. Noel with Chris Harris up quickly.
Just over the shoulder, as he fell. Over the shoulder as he fell, penalty only.
Just stumbling slightly, isn't he? Woodburn, as he carries, drops that head a little bit. See, just gets done by the feet, sticks an arm out. He's gone very low there, hasn't he, Woodburn? I think that's the tough thing for any defenders. That if the ball carrier ducks into the contact, it's very, very harsh.
But it's tough, but there's this kind of zero tolerance policy being adopted at the moment. Players are having to anticipate better than ever as the Chiefs move back inside the Falcons half.
Only just such a strong run for great steal. It's Callum Green, the battle we talked about. But the wind, Toby Flood was struggling to get his kicks at goal in warm-up over from just outside his 22. It is very strong behind the Falcons' back.
Woodburn taking on the Newcastle defenders. The ball dislodged, but again the tackle adjudged high by Matthew Carley. So here's an indicator of the elements. It's blowing hard into the faces of the Exeter Chiefs in this first half. It is the option they usually take, isn't it? In the opening 40, they like to play against the wind, try and hang in as best they can, and then use their advantage second 40.
I always think it puts pressure on the team that has the win, because if they're not up by 10 points at half-time, I'll tell you what, they've got a mountain to climb in the second half.
Simmons on the ball, Ewers on the ball, back to his best debuts in the last few weeks, you feel. Double pumping the ball from Hill. Simmons finding Woodburn. The tackle, hearted from Harris. He may have stolen the ball in the process, and it's been snaffled back by the Chiefs. And here's Johnny Hill.
It was a knock-on, wasn't it, Ben?
Oh, yeah, I think Harris played it when he was on the floor, to be honest. I think he'd be quite happy that that wasn't given.
Slade hits Lee's in space. And again, it's Simmons on the shoulder. Wonderful support work from the Exeter number 8. White digging for it. Ewers. Again, the Falcons resolute in defence. Cowan Dickey pulls forwards now. Wriggles his way onto the 22-metre line. Ewers again, all about that for an offload. Armand is there. Simmons. Keeping those defenders close to the ruck, honest. Reese. Dickey for Slade.
got it ripped forward by Newcastle. So advantage black, advantage knock on Newcastle.
Thomas Francis
Advantage over.
to the short side. White. Slade. Lees again. He's had a busy old time of it in the opening 8 or 9 minutes. And another penalty.
It's not part of the tackle, holding on.
Going the Falcons' way. Chiefs not releasing. That's a couple of times now they've got down into the business area and given up the penalty.
Yeah, just too high from Francis. He's got to get underneath. This Newcastle back row have all got good scavengers. They're all good scavengers, and you have to be accurate with your first shot. Francis, you can see, goes over the top of Hogg and then tries to roll him off using his body weight.
A bit more ground gain this time from the relieving kick.
I thought he was first, then he got straight. The line, please, Johnny. Johnny.
Very significant inclusion of Toby Flood this afternoon for the Falcons, back after 6 weeks out with a broken hand. Joel Hodgson injured, and big games need big experience. The line out scrambled by the Chiefs.
Yeah, another steal, or as good as. It's Armand, another man we're watching very closely, and that pressure flooding through from White causes the spill, and the Chiefs look to use their forwards to build the pressure again.
Woodburn. Involved a lot early on. Johnny Hill, the inside ball for Turner coming flying through. Yet again, a penalty against the Chiefs.
Same thing, the Falcons very sharp, although they're being stretched by some good play by the Chiefs. So sharp on the floor. Lovely ball back inside, but no one with him. That allows Cooper to win the battle. The arm gets wrapped around the neck.
Another back rower, isn't he? Auxiliary back rower, Carl Cooper.
Absolutely. I think Exeter need to change up their tactics just a little bit. In terms of a power game, I think they're bigger and they're stronger than Newcastle. But in terms of a leg tackle and over the ball, we know how devastating that Newcastle can be. So either get guys to latch on, stay up on your feet a little bit longer, work harder on the floor, because 3 penalties will dictate that Newcastle are beating you in that area.
Line out possession for the Falcons, but Matthew Carley doesn't like it.
Line out, please. Don.
I think that's tough in this win, maybe. Yeah, it is down. Do you know what? It's Callum Green trying to own the space. Takes away any margin of error for Cooper, because he jumps across the line out. It makes it look worse. If he goes straight up there, in the referee's eye, it looks a lot better. So, right decision from Carley.
Scrum time. Falcons right on top of the rankings, but they haven't created the same number of opportunities on the penalty count that the Chiefs have, and Exeter have another advantage here. Sam Lockwood singled out.
Haven't been any scrums yet, and that is a big concern for the Falcons. They've had on their own ball one of the best scrums this season, but the reason for that is they like to get it in and out as quickly as they can. I don't think they've got the most powerful front row, and so I think this big Chiefs front row with Francis in there and Cowan Dickey, they're going to, every time they put the ball in, look to attack this area, win themselves penalties, win themselves easy field position, particularly into this win.
Finds his man. Dickey heading off to South Africa with England. He's had a fine time of it since shaking off injury earlier in the season. The Chiefs quietly heading upfield. Simmons, Slade back against the grain, and now Nick White is jinking. Hepburn ever willing on the carry. Kyle Cooper with the tackle. Lees for Armand. Simmons latched on. Turner takes it at the second attempt. Hepburn again, colliding with Olmsted. Slade, Ewers. The muscle power being thrown at the Falcons thick and fast at the moment. Simmons Penalty Exeter.
This player first must move. You can't place the ball if you don't move early enough.
Falcons this time not rolling away.
If you land there, you must move quicker before the jackal comes in.
A little bit wider out with some of their forward runners, trying to get into that midfield, maybe away from some of those back row players and their strength over the ball. So yeah, he definitely forced deliberately to stop the support players getting in. It's Lockwood, and allows Mark Wilson to get in over the ball. Lockwood, who joined from Jersey, terrible season last time round. Ruptured his Achilles, took a long time to recover. So the first chance of points for Joe Simmons. It should be a straightforward kick, but given the wind, nothing is easy this afternoon from the tee. Chiefs up and running. Bountiful possession. 93% of it so far. Only 3 points to show for it, but they're on the ball. Yeah, impressive from the Chiefs. From the Falcons' perspective now, accuracy key. Flood has to get this down into the Chiefs' 22. They have to try and keep the home side down here and contained. Some pressure of their own on the game.
Inside. Use it!
White will not be rushed. They're watching it carefully, and Hammersley it is who comes in to claim it. Made that all his own. Young from Green. A few moments of time on the ball for the Falcons. Flood, oh, he slipped past the tackle of Hill and was dragged down by Slade. It's gone forwards.
Oh, it's so frustrating. He's desperate to get the offload away, but he's so sharp at the line if he sees an opportunity, and Hill just with the tap tackle, desperation stuff. The opportunity's on, but he tries to give it on the more difficult angle. Just doesn't stick. Lovely tap tackle from Hill, but that gap between Slade and Hill was too big. Toby Flood, with all his experience, doesn't need a second invitation.
Look at that stat. 6 phases for the Falcons so far.
2 of those phases were kickoffs, I reckon.
Bind. Set.
So another examination of this Newcastle
All of you need to be higher. All of you.
front row. No
That
John
means coming
Welsh,
a little bit closer.
who would perhaps normally be occupying the tight head berth ahead of Scott Wilson.
Everybody higher. That means coming
Francis,
closer.
who's held off the challenge this week in selection terms from Greg Holmes, is on the bench, and Harry Williams, who is fit, is not even part of the 23 today.
Bind. Set. Steady, steady, steady.
Chiefs dictating there. It's there for White. Decent platform to run off. Simmons for Tony, Woodburn, Goniger is there.
Not now.
Simmons, Hill. Just checks his run and stutters into Scott Wilson. Simmons for Francis now. Hammers his way into Matavesi, former Exeter chief, of course, had a couple of seasons down here. And White, or has he lost it, or has he reclaimed it? It's Exeter ball, but Newcastle might feel a little aggrieved at that. What's your take, Ben?
Yeah, I think let's have a little look. We can see. It's just he try and throw the dummy and go himself.
I think he just...
Yeah, he does. He tries to hold on, I think. Sees them all, eyes looking at the player. It's Karen Dickey who's going to get the ball and thinks, yeah, a little dart here.
Tash for May.
Crouch! Set!
It's not a pretty scene at the moment, is it?
There's a lot of weight coming through from that side. Get them both higher.
Got some information. Gents, just take the
Again,
weights off before.
ideal for the Chiefs. What are we? Nearly 20 minutes into the game. The clock's winding down, and they're well out of range of Toby Flood. They can play this whole half in this area of the field, not do too much, and go in 3-0 up. They'd be more than happy.
Bind. Set.
The scrum, when it does stay up, looks an area of security for Exeter. A little bit of space here for Noel. Digs it over the top of Wilson. Sonotti is back.
Good contest. Now step back.
The Falcons have done well.
Use it.
Good chase from Exeter.
Mickey.
It's there for Michael Young now. Hope to get a little bit of distance with the breeze, but only up to
We had a rush.
slightly beyond the 10-metre line. Oh, Tom Foley still walking.
We can see why Newcastle aren't getting many phases, because every time they do get the ball, it's actually relieving pressure. 91% possession from Exeter, plenty of territory as well.
Hill, Simmons, Noel. Just sniffing, isn't he? Jack Noel. Taskmaster seeking out those holes where seemingly there aren't any. Woodburn gathers the wide one. Donovan goes low. Viewers straightens on halfway. Simmons, Hill, Noel again. Mark Wilson, ready and waiting. Simmons, tackled by Cooper. Simmons was transferred from Turner to Woodburn. Very impressive Newcastle defending at the moment. Handling everything that the champions are throwing at them.
All release. No three.
Communication key as they look to come up in that flat press. Hill, Armand, Simmons, White, Hill again. Wilson shaken off the first time, goes back in for a second bite. Armand on the carry. This is better from Exeter as the momentum swings behind them. Simmons, Slade, a little static, a little lateral. Woodburn.
And I think they're happy. They're happy to be static and lateral as long as they've got hold of the ball, because an opportunity will present itself. Someone will make an error defensively.
Simmons pulls it back for Noel. Michael Young loses his footing. Flood just about does enough to bring the attack to a halt. Simmons, an awful lot of tackles going in from the Falcons at this point.
Dead run.
Simmons again. Slade. Plays number 17.
Let him go, 12. Move.
Armand the latest.
Not on his feet.
White. Slade. Ewers. Hogg. Resolute. Noel. Again beyond 20 phases. Exeter. White. Simmons.
Over the shoulder.
It's too high, says Matthew Carley. Penalty on its way. Slade. Woodburn. Opens it up. Turner. Still with the advantage here, Exeter.
Still advantage.
Ewers. Now camped deep inside the 22. And back we go as Hogg spoils at the breakdown. So patience ultimately rewarded with the penalty. The
So just wants to have a word with Newcastle. Not the first high challenge.
3 high tackles, although they're just over the shoulder with the player falling. We've had 3. The height of the tackle must change. Is my interpretation, is not going to. So
Then after this, lovely hands from Simmons. Opportunity on, under pressure. Matavesi closing him down. He just threads it through to Slade. It's Hill who pulls it back. Matavesi reads it really well. Thinks I can step in for the big hit, stop the ball. But he just controls his feet and helps the ball on its way. Lovely hands from Simmons.
So just the 98 tackles made for the Falcons against Exeter 6 tells you the sorry.
Hugo just pointing out there.
Underneath it's pretty interesting too.
2 metres made for the Falcons against 208.
If we had a clear run to start with, then he is the second.
They would have known exactly what their kind of afternoon was looking like as they flew down yesterday afternoon. Dean Richards decided on driving. They changed hotels, Newcastle. Kept coming here, kept staying in the same hotels, kept losing. So Dino decided that there would be a change of venue this time around.
This is
a change of result. Three more from the boot of Joe Simmons against the wind with a whole pile of possession. Exeter leading by 6 points to 0.
Some big carries. Hill first, then Armand just dropping that shoulder, picking out the smaller players. Noel stepping into the head just as Toby Flood thought he'd set for the tackle. What's also evident is Nick White's just starting to have a little sniff in and around the breakdown, looking for tired Falcons forwards in and around that guard area.
Never onside.
Good carry from Slade off the restart. Falcons have straight offside.
It's poor. Ben, you've already mentioned it. The kickoffs. I find it astonishing in games whereby every bit of inch or anything, possession you have to fight for, and then why you just kick the ball with like a 6, almost with like a pitching wedge, just send it off to them, allow Henry Slade to get over the game line, you then give away a penalty, stick the ball up in the air, send Goniver after it, and put them under proper pressure. Everywhere else a contest apart from the stuff.
Marching orders. And away come the Chiefs again. Simmons, Woodburn, Harris chasing. Good tackle.
I tell you what, that's an absolutely brilliant tackle, and he gets that wrong, that seatbelt tackle. I think someone's going into the bin, so wonderful defensive work from Chris Harris there.
Simmons, Sam Hill. Falcons through the 100 tackle mark. Hepburn. We're back in familiar territory with the power runners. The fleet-footed guys like Noel and Woodburn being freed up. Simmons. Hill, surrounded by Falcon shirts. Lockwood piles in hard. Zand. Overly complicated at the moment from Exeter. Hard, straight running,
7 away.
Continuous and relentless.
Stay down 3.
Cowan-Dickey. There's a second go. Looks like we've got a man down. Is that Scott Wilson who's injured? It might be. Simmons. Wriggling into the 22. Oh, that's quite magnificent. Turner is there. White along the ground. Was that a deliberate knock-on from Newcastle? This could spell trouble for the Falcons.
Diving through the ruck.
Stuart Terridge, our TMO today. It's Olmsted.
The 5, yes.
In open play, he gets away with that, doesn't he? Because he pulls it backwards. You're allowed to pull it back towards yourself, but you're not allowed to play them arm in and around the breakdown, are you?
Not today, he's not getting away with it. Yellow for Olmsted. Falcons down to 14. And more trouble with Scott Wilson down on the deck.
They're kicking a goal.
What about this from Simmons?
Kick a goal.
Brilliant footwork and pace, and then he gets away with the offload.
Today's team is sponsored by Sands Consultant.
It looks ugly, but I slightly sympathise as well. I mean, Olmsted's actually not off his feet. There's more than the time to go through the ruck. He doesn't slap the ball down, he gets it backwards. But they've been rolling the dice for a little while. This is the injury, really big tackle. It was a huge collision anyway from Cowan Dickey. He doesn't look great in a minute.
So 3 more from Simmons, whose little darting break set up the field position. And there is a problem here in the front row for Newcastle. Scott Wilson, who's had a terrible time of it with injuries. 18 months out with knee trouble, and then a further 6 weeks at the start of this season. And it looks like he will play no further part in this afternoon's activities. Davy Wilson will come on in his place. He's been on the sidelines injured up until a fortnight ago. So the resources being stretched a little bit on the tight head.
It's really tough, especially in that tight 5. They've had Exeter Chiefs, they've had the centre C in that scrum area. So David Wilson, he's got a huge job to do, not only to be able to see out the remaining 50 minutes of this game, but also steady the scrum. So
while Wilson is attended to, here's a reminder what else we've got coming up for you in the next few days. Rugby tonight in its usual place, of course, Wednesday, 8 o'clock. BT Sport 1 and 4K UHD. Wayne Barnes will be with us for that, ahead of the Premiership final, which, of course, is next Saturday from 2 o'clock at Twickenham. 1 4K UHD again for that. The Saracens are there. Will it be Exeter or Newcastle joining them? And then tonight, from 7:30, it's BT Sports Fight Night. Lee Selby up against Josh Warrington. 7:30, BT Sport 1, 4K UHD. So they're taking no chances here. Quite obviously the medics. Olmsted has 10 minutes to cool off, and we've got a head injury assessment for Kyle Cooper, so Santi Sassino on at hooker. Front row trouble for the Falcons. Sassino armed with a new contract, though his brother Juan Pablo is off to Edinburgh next season. England qualified now. Santiago Sassino.
And some of the region's top food and drink producers.
Got some resources at hooker, that's for sure, because Scott Lawson hasn't made the 23, so they've got some options there, but the props are a problem.
Just going to open up a conversation. Devastating news, Jack Willis. Massive head-to-head. You pointed out before the game, the Don Armand against Gary Graham. How's that tussle going today?
I think Armand's carrying well. Obviously, Graham is on the back foot, and as a poaching 7, you always look better when you're on the front foot and going forward to things. But I think it's a bit of an unfair comparison because Exeter is so on top. Having said that, Armand is at the heart of that, and some of his carries have been good. He's answering Eddie Jones' criticism of the fact that he is carrying closer in around the breakdown, that one-off carrier, or even closer going in for the pick and go. And he adds that line-out threat. We've seen him steal a line-out already today as well. So I'd be erring towards Armour, but I know, Hugo, that you think Graham would be your first choice.
I think you answered it beforehand. It all depends on the style of rugby you want to play. I absolutely rate Don Armour. I think he's a wonderful player, absolutely brilliant player, every facet of the game. However, since Gary Graham's come into all of our consciousness, I think he's very good at what he does. And he doesn't do what Don Armour does, but his game's more an explosive game, a very good carrier. We've seen him on the floor already today in terms of his poaching ability. They are very different, and it all depends on, as you've already pointed out, the style of game that you want to play.
Well, Neil Hatley, the England scrum coach, here this afternoon. No doubt that's one of the areas he'll be analysing carefully. What's just a little odd is the inconsistency over both these players, actually. Gary Graham brought in, of course, in the training squad of the Six Nations, and then not picked for South Africa. Don Armour eventually brought into the Six Nations squad. He toured last summer in Argentina, then not around for the South African tour. I mean, it's
someone else has come into the equation, so hasn't it? Brad Shields, which controversial, I know, but it's, to say we haven't seen him in England, well, that actually doesn't matter from a selection point of view. I know that maybe some people might have moral issues with it, but from a selection point of view, that doesn't make any difference, because we've all seen what Brad Shields can do in Super Rugby. And I guess if Eddie thinks he's the right man, having watched those games and watched these games in the Premiership, it's too close to the World Cup to be putting him in the autumn without having seen him in that environment and introducing the guys. You see Armand touching the back of his leg as though he might be tightening up in the hamstring. Billy Vunipola obviously had hamstring issues leading up to the game this week, and he looked like he had a slight tweak in the first semi-final.
You wonder if it's just the hot conditions first game back. You're hoping it's just nothing more than just cramp. But it's interesting, the conversation like players who should tour Six Nations, autumn internationals, is always far greater in this country because of the amount of the size of the playing pool that we have.
to be continued, no doubt. In the meantime, a round of applause for Scott Wilson, and we wish him a speedy recovery. Every care being taken. Very unfortunate end to a very big day in the lives of each and every Newcastle Falcons player. So, Davy Wilson on at tight head, and we're underway again, and Johnny Hill is riding the tackle on the 22. Hepburn.
It's another slightly high shot. I know Hepburn was starting to fall, but just need to be careful. They've been spoken to as a team about it.
Nick White, ball hanging in the breeze. And it's gone forwards from Sinotti. Hewers has it for Exeter. Big net gain of 30 metres or so. Slade gathers it from Simmons. Gets it away to Turner. The handling of Slade today, very slick. Perhaps the front runner for the 13 shirt on that tour of South Africa. Armand wrestling.
Right, he's got to play for me.
Simmons for Cowan-Dickey at pace. Good punch from the hooker. Simmons, no. Michael Young dismissed. Matavesi not quite so easily dispatched.
It's called more.
That's great work from
See,
the Falcons.
I think Carly's within his rights to do that, but actually I would have liked him just to have waited a couple more seconds. As soon as it went down, he blew the whistle. Now, as soon as a maul goes down near the line, he doesn't blow his whistle, he waits to see if it's coming back. But he'd already decided that was a choke tackle, and that ball wasn't going to come back, and I think that was wrong. Particularly as we want to see the game in open play. We don't want extra scrums when we're not there.
Newcastle have been starved of the ball this first half. It's so important that they get their details right, but they don't just cough it back to Exeter Chiefs. Goniver's not carried with the ball yet. We've had no Sinotti on the ball yet. We know our game dangerous they could be, you've got to be able to hold the ball for long enough to get them in the game.
Straight in and straight out at scrum time, not hanging about, and they are under pressure there.
7 and 12, just wait.
Flood's seen a lot of space in behind Noel, but he needed the bounce, and he hasn't got it.
I'm surprised they're kicking second, third phase. I don't get it. You've not had the ball. I completely understand the fact you've got someone like Callum Green that can potentially put pressure on in the lineup, but I look at their back line, look at the weapons they have, and none of them had an opportunity to see what they can do. Newcastle did not get to a semi-final by playing pragmatic rugby against anyone.
Wait.
The illustration of that, Sonotti yet to carry the ball for the Falcons. Gonniver's only had it from the restarts as well. It's gone forwards, believe it or not, they've changed their mind, the officials, so the ball is coming wide to Slade. Little dummy, and he's half through the hole. Hepburn, Hill, could do with some support. Noel is in there.
Let go of him.
Ewers, picked up by Simmons. Woodburn off the box. Chasing hard after this. Hammersley, solid. Young, there's Gonniver. Graham.
No, 4.
Gonniver failed to pick it. It's gone forwards, and it's a very different scenario, this one, to much of the season for Nicky Gonniver. He's been starved the ball, he's come hunting for it, and he spilt it.
3 errors from the Falcons. Firstly, the kick from Toby Flood, then the spilt drop-out reception, and after Exeter have managed to work their way down from their own 22 into the halfway line, they finally get it back, and Gonniver spills it. That's the difference between the two teams, just that time on the ball and the accuracy of some of the execution by the Falcons at the moment compared to the excellent execution of the Chiefs.
Premiership player of the season. Gonniver, 13 tries in the campaign. At the age of 34, he's going some. What an incredible campaign he's had. What a signing he's been for Dean Richards. I mean, we saw brilliance while he was a Tiger, but he just seems to have come into his own Falcons.
I just think when you're physically built in the way in which he is, you can pop up all over the place, and now he's trying to force himself into the game, but whether it's one-on-one ability, out and wide channels, in and around the ruck, behind the ruck, through the ruck, he can do it all. But I see one team playing a huge amount of confidence, and I see another team who aren't able to play their game and looking massively underconfident.
Again, Falcons having the screw turned on them at scrum time. Exeter have the penalty as a result.
That's on the back of that front row. That's what they've been tasked to do. Keep the ball in. Simmons and White in no hurry to get it out. Thomas Francis getting the plaudits. That's what certain rules on the field to do.
On the upside for Newcastle, Kyle Cooper's passed his HIA and he's trotting back on. And another 3 minutes to go on the sin bidding of Evan Olmsted. Exeter. Nicky to Hill.
Yes, you can. Away, breakaway.
Nicky has it.
Off the ball too.
Lewis.
What was that? What was that?
Francis. And the penalty here for the Falcons. Battling hard, right up against it at the moment.
I just think at Newcastle, it's not a massively decisive line-out, I don't think, but they need to feed some energy back into this team. They look fairly lethargic. It's a huge occasion, a semi-final. Been building up to this all single week, but there's no energy in their team, and that's for me because they get their energy out of their attack as much as they love the collisions, winning turnover ball, all the rest of it. If you've not had the ball to attack from all game, it's hard to get yourself into the game.
They come here as firm underdogs, as we were saying ahead of kick-off. They've never won at Sandy Park. 10 previous visits in all, 7 in the Premiership. We were mentioning their away form. They should take solace and comfort and confidence from that this season. David Wilson is now all fingers and thumbs, and Jack Noel has it for Exeter. Mitchleys. Sent that to nobody in particular. Simmons gathers, and now Turner. White. Oh, the intercept from Gonover. Woodburn is there. The kick is punched directly into touch. And just for a moment, Nicky Gonover's eyes lit up.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he's had a couple of sniffs so far this half, and Nick White's looking to exploit those wider channels. You do not want to give him an inch, and I'll tell you what, in a game which Newcastle have been almost non-existent, he almost brought him right back into it. It just goes to show the constant threat that they do have out wide. That's something Alan Shearer wouldn't have been proud of, that kick line, Jim.
Be wary of those long floated passes down that flank this afternoon if you were Nick White. Mitchleys gathers it in this time for Exeter. A couple of minutes to go to the break. 9 points to the good against the wind. The defending champions. Simmons. This pass for Turner in space. Harris on the chase. Turner burns him off. Wonderful pace from Turner. Hammersley snares his man. Quick ball for the Chiefs. Ewers powers forwards. Woodburn within 5. Cowan-Dickey. Hepburn. Meaningful stuff this from the Exeter Chiefs.
Numbers left.
Through the middle they go.
Stunning score.
Finished by the power of Luke Cowan-Dickey. Started by a wonderful break from Lockie Turner. Scorch marks across Sandy Park.
Yeah, searing break from Turner. Look at Harris's face when he realises how much ground he's got to cover. He knows he's not going to get there. Sonotti's already gone for Noel. And they don't panic, having made that break. How about this for an offload from Ewers, though? Bides his time, puts it round the back and still gets it off the floor. Keeps the move alive, keeps the momentum going. And then Newcastle have lost all their defenders. One more hit up the middle. And there's a gaping overlap out wide. White exploits that and darts himself for the score. Brilliant Chiefs score, and into the wind, a brilliant Chiefs half. With apologies to Luke Cowan-Dickey, who looks nothing like Nick White. Chiefs breaking loose as we approach the end of this first half. Making the most of those opportunities after would be described as a searing break from the Australian fullback. And seemingly more injuries for Newcastle to attend to. Is it Toby Flood? Yeah. It's Toby Flood who's struggling with a blood injury. So Juan Pablo Cecino will come on for the time being. In the process of throwing his body on the line, he's come off second best. So Simmons
lines up the conversion.
Leaving the field at 10, Toby Flood, to be replaced by 22, Juan Pablo Cicino.
Hugo.
Yeah, just looking at Newcastle and how their line speed is just so passive, especially off sideline. You expect to see a real hard blitz of this, and it's just two simple passes. But look at the body language of the centres here, and just allows, they all just sit off, and it allows Lockie Turner to attack them, because they're all running back towards the corner flag. And then once they get into the 22, we know how good they are. Nick White, great decision maker, lovely sniper. Try under the stick, 16 points up.
Brilliant take that was from Johnny Hill.
Brilliant, because coaches always talk about getting your basics right after you've scored and making sure you don't give the opportunity for 3 points to go against you. It's a brilliant take, really well set up.
To put the matches back, didn't they, to gather it in. This is Cowan-Dickey. It's there now for you as last few seconds of this first half. First half that has been entirely dominated by the defending champions. They have just not allowed the Falcons a sniff. Not a sniff. 92% possession in that first half. Exeter against the wind with the try from White, and Joe Simmons, who has not missed off the tee, are looking in very good order as they turn for home with Twickenham in their sights. All the analysis to come shortly. Half-time at Sandy Park. Exeter 16, Newcastle 0. Exeter 40 minutes from Twickenham. Newcastle 40 minutes to turn this on its head. Against the wind, they are in danger at the moment of fluffing their lines on their big day. Worked so hard all season, Ben, and yet here we are, half-time. They're looking down and out, and this guy hasn't touched the ball.
You can't get your best players into the game, you're going to struggle out. You look at that, you might as well be sat in the stands with the other people on that side of the field. Very, very frustrating. Toby Flood recovered from the bang he took just before the half. He now is key in orchestrating a few opportunities for the likes of Sinotti and Gonover.
Well, they got some dynamite there. They've just got to find a way to use it, Hugo.
Absolutely, 16-0 down. I think you're looking at the top try scorer in the league. The other one, Sinotti, scored try of the season, so they're not down and out as bleak as the scoreline looks like, because they've got a serious amount of firepower.
Decent surge from Gary Graham. In the early exchanges of this second half, maybe he can provide the dynamism to get them on the front foot, get them using their possession. The limited scraps of possession that they've had have amounted to nothing. Extraordinary statistics at half-time. The tackle count absolutely bonkers. That's ended up going almost backwards from Michael Young. The wind, if anything, has intensified. And they try to play outside of 22. A first touch for Sinotti, but a penalty resulting to the Exeter Chiefs. Well, once he's got his hands on it, he didn't want to let go.
Bar the Graham carry, it's worrying, isn't it, for Falcons fans, because as soon as Graham carried, the next player was knocked back into the 22. They couldn't get out using the box kick. They got the ball back. Hammersley got it slightly surprised, gives it to Sinotti, and he gets turned over.
Well, this is the danger from Newcastle as well. Forced to play from deep. You don't look after the ball. And we know how proficient Exeter Chiefs are from a driving line out, and that's a brilliant kick. 7-8 metres out.
The alarm bells will be ringing for Newcastle from here. Sandy Park in great voice. Cowan-Dickey, one of the league's best exponents, accuracy-wise at the line out, has secured the ball They are bearing down on the line. Hill lays it back. Hepburn. There's Simmons alongside him. Become expert at that latch with the ball carrier, just to provide the extra shunt, the extra momentum. Johnny Hill that's been coughed up in possession, and Hogg has it for Newcastle. So the Falcons let off the hook. And from the in-goal area they go. Maybe the message, have a crack.
Look at the advantage over. Use it.
Lockwood, who's been tireless defensively. He's put in 19 tackles already, the loosehead prop for Newcastle. 154 for the team, up against 13 for the Exeter teams during the course of this contest so far. Young has given that a little bit of extra thump because of the wind. Turner, though, is doing his job expertly, and away he comes. Simmons, that's loose, and Conover saw it again. The eyes lit up, and he couldn't quite grasp it. Oh, it's the second time, isn't it? McGonaver's had a sniff. This just wouldn't sit for him. It floated horribly in the air from Simmons. See, swings away from Slade and almost straight into the arms of Gonover, and Slade realises, pulls out of attempting to go for it, and thinks, I'll head for the tackle.
Well, Gonover's like an unwanted guest. You don't want to invite him too many times. He will take one of those chances. I tell you what, 3 minutes into the game could have changed the perspective of it straight away. It also goes to show the strength of that wind.
First little suggestion of an error from Joe Simmons, who's barely put a foot wrong since he's been picked by Rob Baxter, eased into this setup, this winning setup. He's yet to lose a Premiership match, and Simmons here being hit by Flood. Brother Sam collects. Clear-out's a decent one, but Nick White dithering for a moment. Knocked forwards, though, by Newcastle. Flood doesn't think that game off him. He thinks it was dislodged in the tackle. Simmons caught. And just maybe that left-hander Floods. Let's have a look. This is a better angle. Yeah, it does.
Listen, you both got to stay up. Just because it's gone down, then you push forward. Not going to give you a penalty, okay? So we stay up.
So the scrum and area, it's been tough for the Falcons today. They haven't really been able to gain any sort of purchase here. Again, Chiefs ball, so they can exert the pressure. Strong wind behind them, remember.
Use it!
Simmons controlling.
Use it!
Young trying to disrupt the ball via the boots. Here's Slade. Nice from Slade. Brilliant. Turner's there.
Off feet, fine, let it go! Did you went off your feet? You went off your
Falcons off their feet. Chiefs with the advantage. Hill battered by Kyle Cooper. Back for the penalty. That's a lovely little inside ball. It's an area they've targeted throughout the game. That inside ball, trying to catch those secondary defenders so that Slade attacks the back row, steps inside, attacks the back row, and catches the second row slow out of the scrum. Understandably slow out of the scrum, because Falcons scrum's under real pressure. The referee telling Chiefs to use that, but I don't think they had to use it.
The other side's higher.
Driving, it looked to me like it should have been a penalty to the Chiefs at the scrum anyway. So it's a big area of concern for Mickey Ward at the moment. Very influential game so far this afternoon. Henry Slade looks slick, handling very much on the money, and he's causing trouble for the Newcastle back division, finding the holes, putting people into space, creating this opportunity for Joe Simmons. This time, riding the winds, and
Exeter extend their lead, 19 points to 0. It's already looking an ominous scoreline for the opposition this afternoon. Rob Baxter far from comfortable just yet. Dean Richards with a pensive look. Plenty to do. Shots to be fired. Hammersley. A chance of a little gallop. There's one into Mitchell.
7-7.
Gonover. I think that's what Dean Richards will want to see. Nicky Gonover coming off his room. He won't want to off his wing. He won't want to see this. Head injury.
Something's Hammersley by the look of things.
Yeah, just as he dipped into that contact.
You went to clear. When you come to the station, just jump into your feet and create a better pitch, yeah?
Yeah, he may just have did he smash into the Ewer's knee. The sort of third element of this collision. It was Lees and Simmons, and then Ewers. I think he might have made contact with his head on the knee of Dave Ewers. They've already had their problems, of course, Newcastle with injuries. Scott Wilson going off in the first half. On the tight head, we've got Alex Tate ready to make an appearance, but Hammersley's shaken that one off, seemingly.
We've got a good pitch on this side again.
I think
Here we are, here's the mark. It's a Newcastle scrum, last in possession.
should point out that he probably shouldn't have shouted. Looks like he's got a head injury because they're obviously not there, but could well have been a neck the way he fell through the traffic there. He did certainly place the ball back okay when he hit the ground, so no thought that he lost consciousness. But interestingly, the Falcons are also warming up Mililatu to give them a bit more bite in the breakdown.
Well, all kinds of bother at scrum time, and Gonover's just been stripped by Nick White. Not going Gonover's way this afternoon. Simmons tucks it in behind Gonover and Hammersley. It's inch perfect, laser guided. It's everything that Toby Flood's kicking, I'm afraid, wasn't in the opening half.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything else the Chiefs are doing, they're doing it with a purpose, a reason behind it as well. Really good balance and play, whether it's the physicality of Nick White. All those guys, they're actually enjoying themselves because they're playing exactly how they thought they would do.
Which is saying quite a lot for Newcastle, Lugo, because we're not seeing them as we've been used to seeing them play through the course of this season.
Yeah, we were discussing at half-time in terms of the people that give them energy. Sonotti, Donovan have not been in the game. They often make something happen, give you that spark. Just, unfortunately, they're just not in the game, are they?
Exeter's possessions drop below the 90% mark, though, so they'll be concerned about that. I thought at this point Woodburn looking to pump up the percentages. Very well taken. There are a few better players in the Premiership under the high ball. Simmons this time smashed in the tackle again. It's Lockwood and Wilson combining. Lees perhaps wasn't expecting that one.
No, off feet, let it go! Let it go!
Another penalty for Exeter.
He called off feet, didn't he? But for me, he's only gone off his feet after he's stolen the ball. The Chiefs didn't let go. Perfect technique. Gets his hands on the ball. They miss him originally. His hands are on it there.
Then release, and then you played it on the floor.
Oh, I think that's a bit harsh.
Talk about competition on the floor. This is in the air. That is absolute picture perfect from Ollie Woodburn. Coming in to own the space, own the ball, get his team onto the front foot. 2 phases later, it could be another 3 points. That is brilliant play. Always talk about owning the space. He covers about 5 or 6 metres, jumping off his ground, up into the air, being real big, strong. All those hard points, the bony points, the elbow, the knees, making sure that he can be in complete control of that aerial collision.
Replacements assembling for Newcastle, a raft of them all in one go, soon to appear. Joe Simmons calmly going about his business. And Exeter seemingly on course for the final against Saracens.
We have 4 Falcons substitutions made. And what they brought some explosiveness on somewhere where they've lacked all game. Nili Latu, Takalua, Tashino into the front row.
So we have Rob Vickers, Santi Sassino, Nili Latu and Tani Takalua on for Newcastle. Slade in the meantime on a little rummage over the 22. Hepburn seems to have taken a leaf out of the Sam Simmons book of carrying. Just immediately explodes onto that ball. There's plenty of power and plenty of momentum.
Yep.
Out. One of those days.
I mean, it's a simple drop. I mean, the wind is a little bit of a factor. It's a really good lesson to any kid that you really want to sit early, you want to keep your legs moving, you want to be side onto the ball, but these small errors will be frustrating the likes of Dean Richards. You mentioned there, Ali, it's one of those days. You're just praying and hoping that one of those days isn't the semi-final away at Sandy Park when you're 22 points down.
I don't think the drop kick was the knock-on, was it? He turned his shoulders, he did what he's meant to do. But then, as he went to pick the ball off the ground, he looked up. That's where the knock-on came. An opportunity for Chiefs front row to turn the screw again and really put pressure on Davy Wilson, the new man, Sassino. Into that front row as well now.
To get your heads in the right places.
It's shaping up to be his last half hour of rugby also, retiring at the age of 36 after 12 seasons with Newcastle. And this time, a strong penalty goes Newcastle's way.
You got to cross into the ground. Let's go. 17 still up. On the line, will he? Go to the line, please, Exeter.
So a little bit of breathing space afforded the Falcons.
Exeter move across the line.
Sassino for Green. Takalua, well picked up by Flood, and it's Latu on the charge. Defended by Joe Simmons that time. Matavesi, Flood again, and now Gonover. Sinotti, eager to make up for lost time. Extraordinary start of his. Flood, Assassino. Takalua, more urgency to the Falcons' plan now that Gary Graham bundled backwards by Don Armand and Mitch Lees. It's the most phases that the Falcons have been through in the course of 54 minutes. Flood looking for options. Graham is the option. Latu, guaranteed to bring the energy, bring that dynamism. His final games for the Falcons, the penalty awarded.
Just looking at Latu wants that first big carry to get him into the game. Simmons, not the biggest 10 in the world. If your 10's willing to put his body on the line like that and stop big runners, and he's only going to make big fans amongst his forward pack.
Yeah, absolutely. He's working hard, both sides of the ball. This is the penalty. Just not getting away, just not rolling away. Matt Carney wanting an open and quick game. But Don Armand, in terms of that head-to-head that you're talking about before the game, could probably bring Dave Ewers into that back row battle as well. But he's having a wonderful game, isn't he? He's been allowed to have a wonderful game because of the rest of the work that his team have been doing. Gary Graham working off scraps today, not really featuring, tackling his heart out, doing what he can, but it's all about that man today.
very high-class performance, and he's been putting them in, week out. So Hammersley off and tape on. And a head injury assessment from Mitch Lees. And Sam Skinner
1 and 3
replaces him.
1 and 3 replacement. 12 replacement.
Pablo Cecino
And fellow replacements are
to the field as well. Changes to the front row this time for Exeter. Two new props, Moon and Hoyt replacing Hepburn and Francis. Plenty on their feet for those two. In the meantime, Olmsted with line-out ball for Newcastle. Inside the 22, we're approaching now or never time for the Falcons. For Cecino. So important, rare possession.
This is one thing Falcons have done really well all year. Look at the body heights. Exceptionally good. Much better than the one the Chiefs did in the first half. They need to keep that momentum or they're going to lose it.
Takalua. Flood. Nicely done for Harris. Graham. Again, met with force. Black shirts assembling in a hurry. Latu, though, bundling his way to within 5 metres. Wilson.
Penalty advantage.
With the advantage here, Newcastle.
They've got numbers if they go left. Penalty advantage, the one thing you've got is a huge in-goal area. At Exeter, at Sandy Park, they're getting some decent mileage up front.
Well, this is much more like it from the Falcons' perspective. Flood providing the space for Tate. Alex Tate, first touch, dragging Newcastle back into the equation. They seem down and out. They seem dead and buried. Just a flicker of light.
And some accuracy as well. That was the key, wasn't it? Some good play, interplay with the forwards. And Flood gets that offload away. Harris does really well to control his feet and slow his foot speed to not drift in front of Flood. And then Olmsted with a great line to hold those initial defenders. Flood just puts it in behind him. A good team try, and shows what the Falcons can achieve when they have that accuracy, the driving play, intermingled with some good offloading.
And the kick, remarkably charged down. You don't see that too often. Lockie Turner, one of the quickest men in Premiership rugby, and displaying it right there. Extraordinary.
I'll tell you what, an illustration of commitment and desire. How about that? You often see it with us backs when we try and pretend like we're putting pressure on, but he's fully flung himself, opened himself up, made himself as big as possible for those 2 points. That's what this Exeter team have done. They've just been far more urgent and far more accurate in everything they've done today.
Whilst it might not prove critical in the final analysis here today, that sort of commitment and those sorts of tiny little margins can be the difference between a title or a runners-up spot. Sinotti. I'm trying to remember when the last time I saw that was. Under 8, yeah, might have been something like that. Incredible pace. Harris bundled backwards.
But the knock-on effect, look at Exeter getting off the line, putting in those hits. There's those little moments within the games that feed energy. I keep talking about this word energy. You can see how hungry Exeter are. A few phases later, they've won the ball back.
Possession is with the Exeter Chiefs. Let's bring in the director of rugby, Rob Baxter. Rob, let's start with the charge down. I know in the general scheme of things you'll be looking at a bigger picture, but what commitment from Lockie Turner. Does that embody everything you were after?
Well, I think it did. I think it kind of maybe sometimes in those little moments it just turned the momentum tide back your way. You know, we'd had a pretty poor 4 or 5 minutes there, haven't we? We gave up a pretty, I think in hindsight we're looking at a very soft scrum penalty where we didn't really get focused at a scrum, and then we ended up, you know, a few phases later underneath our post, and we don't really want to have that happening. So no, I think it's obviously energized the team. We look ready to go, and hopefully now we can drive home a big 10 minutes from ourselves.
A brief word on your opening half, because of course you were up against a strong wind, but were you pleased with the way everything went in that period?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think we had almost total control of everything in the game, didn't we? I mean,
Woodburn! Exeter have their second, and they look to be heading to Twickenham. Rob, a reaction please. Is that the game, or is there still work to be done?
I think it's obviously going to be a very important score over the course of the game left. Listen, but we're very aware, you know, Newcastle have scored multiple points very, very quickly. So the important thing for us now is to lock down and keep working hard and not go off the gas, because ultimately it's like anything in life. It's the hard work that actually makes the bigger things easier for you, and that's what we've got to focus on now.
Thanks for your time, Ron.
Oh, Nick White has been absolutely superb in this game. He manufactures it. He's got such good vision of which direction to play in. Everyone's expecting it to go to the open side. He runs on the arc, forces Conover to hold, and then gives Woodburn just enough room for the spectacular dive. Keeps his feet in the air, no danger of going into touch. And the two architects enjoying a brace. That could well be the game.
9th Premiership try of the season for Ollie Woodburn. That's a wonderful kick. Stroked it delicately and ensure the Chiefs get full value for the Woodburn score. It's looking like a long, long way back for the Falcons now.
Well, we're just talking about commitment from Lockie Turner. I mean, it's brilliant analysis, brilliant eyesight from Nick White. But how about this? Conover, smash him into touch. No, one hand, complete. I mean, a massive fan of Conover. Premiership player of the season, but in moments like that, when you're big and strong as you are, when you're carrying the ball, you've got to see it the other side. And the desperation we've seen from Lockie Turner, the accuracy. This is why Exeter Chiefs in full control. They're ready at Twickenham, although the game's not quite over.
Joe Simmons, yet again, coming up trumps. Under pressure, plenty of defenders in his face, got the kick away beautifully. And allowing them to pressurise this Falcons line out once more. Chiefs fans just beginning to cast their minds a week forwards to what might be. Stu Townsend on scrum half for Exeter. He's done very well to evade the tacklers.
It's another stolen line out that creates this opportunity.
Ewers on the ball.
Move, tackler!
Mountainous in the carry. Hill. Options left and right for Townsend. This is Skinner, the ball dislodged by the tackle of Latu.
No, 18, no, 18, leave it.
Snotty. Try score from Newcastle. 150th Premiership appearance today for Alex Tate. This is Wilson.
Let it go. Ball available.
Flood. Harris. Takes on Hill. Simmons alongside him. Flood to Graham. Sassuolo. Plenty to do.
Tackle, let him go. Use it.
Slade is waiting. He's bouncing off Sonosi. Back over the top, Knowles after it. And just too much.
Lovely bit of vision from Stu Townsend off his wrong foot as well. Just manipulating that backfield as Newcastle try and load up their front line.
A big roar for a big man. Thomas Waldron enters the stage for the Exeter Chiefs. Heading back to New Zealand at the end of the season, a legend in these parts. Record try scorer. And importantly, he was telling me in the week, he's going home via Disneyland, but more importantly, Krusty Burger. Slade making way for Ian Whitty. Performance from Slade this afternoon. And Callum Green is off, Will Whitty is on for Newcastle. Townsend. Nicely weighted pass for Ewers to run on to Ewers. And assistance there, but the ball spilt. Of Jack Yendall into Newcastle arms and take these look lively.
Knock on advantage over.
Flood. 15 minutes to play. 24-point deficit. They've got to score quick. They've got to score heavy.
Use it.
Got to get out of their 22 first. Here's Sanotti driving his way upfield.
No one.
Flood to Olmsted. Driven back in the tackle. And having a hard time escaping that 22. The Chiefs know that the kick's unlikely to come, so they can just line up the big forwards, bang them back, and have to worry about charging down, and then in comes the kick from Takalua. He can't get any distance because of the wind. He kicks it out on the full, and the Chiefs get exactly what they want. So they've gone through all that energy, got nowhere, and surrendered the ball in exactly the same place as they started.
10 metres.
Well, it's a thoughtful Dean Richards who's signed a new 3-year deal with the Falcons, of course. He knows there is plenty still to do. He was talking ahead of kick-off about the fact that they're nowhere near their potential. This an important step, an important building block, a playoff place. And they've been under the pump from the off.
Exeter down, play on.
It's there for Townsend. Almond. Quick ball for Townsend, and here's Wolfen. What a noise there would be if he managed to cross the whitewash. Townsend to within 6 metres. Yendall. Quick ball here, Townsend, sniping Townsend! He's got it, you know. That's a fine finish, that really is an outstanding finish.
Whether he's taken it beyond the ground.
Yeah, exactly what I thought.
It's going to be checked.
Stu,
Yes,
What are
Matthew.
your initial thoughts, Ben?
we think we got a grounding over the line, but we'll check anyway. But first of all, we'd like to see how the hole was opened up, whether the clear out took the first guard to the ground.
Okay, so we're going to look at the ruck first, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My initial thoughts as he gets there. Let's just have a look. There's nothing untoward to create that opportunity. Lovely acceleration as he picks up. There's nothing there at the moment. No, he's entitled to be there. He was part of the ruck. Just sealing off the ball. He didn't step into the Newcastle player.
Yes, Matthew.
So we got a legal clear out to start with. He then falls to his legs, grabs him and takes him to the floor.
Okay, let me show you that again.
It's going to annoy a lot of people, but
Interesting.
it's right. It's Don Armand's.
Just want to show you again, just to be clear that he does take him.
Just
Yeah.
at this clear out. Watch Don Armand, right side, clears at Olmsted.
There he's
You
fine,
can
then he
clear.
falls to his legs, pulls him to the ground.
Does he hold on? Yeah, probably does. Maybe Olmsted trips
There you go,
over
you've
him a
got a clear
little bit.
picture of it, agreed. Yep.
Yeah.
No try. You're not going quickly because we had TMO. No. There's a tackle to the ground which created the hole for him to run through. No. He tackled him to the ground.
So the intervention of
he then takes him to the ground.
Stuart Tier is doing for Exeter's prospects of a third try this afternoon.
It's actually one of those situations where Armand, because Ormsted's backing off, when you're pushing against something, it's very, very difficult not to complete through. It doesn't really, it's not an aggressive movement to bring him to ground. It's absolutely the right decision.
Sandy Park once again on its feet. And they are very appreciative of Joe Simmons' efforts this afternoon. Gareth Steenson on at fly half. And a penalty from the line out for Newcastle. Assured of legendary status, of course, forever and a day after delivering the Premiership title in extra time a year ago. But in Joe Simmons, they've got their future sorted out by the look of things.
Yeah, so he's got the cross and bumped him.
That's it, they've not had to spend a penny on it. Comes straight through the academy, just like his brother. You can see they're enjoying themselves. They'll be open that next week. They can swap that recovery drink for a beer.
And a pat on the back from Big Brother as well. Great to talk to them in a week and find out all about their dynamic, their family dynamic. Another awkward kick, another brilliant kick. Awkward for Newcastle. Expert from Exeter. Stu Townsend really making an impact on arrival from the bench, and we're seeing the depth of this squad.
Well, White was totally dominant when he was on the field. I thought White was superb in the first 60 minutes, but Townsend has backed that up and added energy.
Probably a good illustration of exactly how they've driven the standards onwards since winning the title last year. As Noel carries hard, we're just seeing a great depth and an ability to interchange between players, and no loss of quality as a result. Witten. Townsend for Steenson. Hill. Chris Harris has been tireless defensively today.
He's had a brilliant season. It's a bit of a shame that Newcastle are going out like this, regardless of today. The things that they've done, not just for them as a club, what they've done for Northern Rugby. Dean Richards, Director of the Year. It's just such a shame they've not been able to replicate everything they've done for the previous 22 rounds today to make it more of a competition. But then you've got to credit Exeter Chiefs. The hunger, the desire, the appetite of winning their very first Premiership last year. Within 28 minutes, within 80 minutes, potentially winning it back-to-back next week.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
With the tomahawk chop in their ears, another big surge from the Chiefs pack. Gonover from a standing start. He's been kept on a very tight leash this afternoon. The magician
Backwards, play on, backwards.
robbed of his tricks. Graham, busy carry. Flood, Tate, Harris, Sinotti. Everywhere, black shirts.
Off six.
Barely allowing Newcastle to breathe. Sinotti, big fend, taken low. Fine tackle from Skinner, that one.
Tate's been exceptional since he's come on as well. Lovely footwork and offload to release Sinotti.
Gary Graham over the 10-metre line. Newcastle making decent ground here. Cicino, Latu gathering Sam Hill into the bargain. Cicino again. Low centre of gravity, hard man to bring down. Tate again offering himself. That looked forwards from Flood. It was. A lot of hard work. A lot of profit territorially. And then an error. This is what they've been missing, really. The moments of sparkle, then. These little fleeting glimpses of what they are capable of.
It's brilliant by Tate. Stepped one, tied in two, and still got the ball away. Desperation in defence has been so impressive by the Chiefs. They didn't have to defend for 40 minutes. But even having secured that lead and that buffer, they've defended as though their lives were depending on it.
Totally dominant at scrum time. And another penalty resulting. Tough in the cheeks from Ben Moon. Thomas Baldwin heading back to Wellington. We'd like to sign off at Sandy Park with one more try, you suspect.
Thank you all for your support.
We've got a servant here in Pride. For that, of course, the time at times very successful also. Here he is on the ball. Hill. Over the top from Witten, piling off his feet. So work to be done for Newcastle to climb right to the top of the tree. Tony Rowe will be a happy man. He'll be loading up his bus Doris for next Saturday's outing. Locked and loaded. Cicino for Gonover. Tate. Sinotti. Just loving the intent from Sinotti. Team going down quite heavily, but always searching for something, as is Latu. Takalua, Flood, men out to the right, Davy Wilson to the right. Gonover.
Let go.
Taken by Yandel. Cicino, Flood pops it onwards. Harris with a lot to do, and Noel right there to meet him. It's Sinotti again. He's been able to involve himself an awful lot more than the first half. Olmsted tidying up. Cicino.
Anything that's due.
Back in to compete for the ball.
Late hit 7, yeah.
Just a penalty.
Exeter defenders, the advantage with Newcastle as we enter the last 5 minutes. Quick tap from Takalua. And a rather weary trudge forwards. Not a whole lot of energy there. Cicino. Tate. Flood. Wilson. Everywhere they go, there are Chiefs ready and waiting to make the tackle. Cicino.
No six. Thank you, 18.
Flood again. But shaking off the defenders. Sinotti. All the way through Stinson.
Release tacklers away. Black. No. Let it come.
Harry Graham. Ever industrious. Flood. Crossfield for Tate in the open expanses of Sandy Park. And he's got another one back. Alex Tate, on the occasion of his 150th Premiership appearance, very lively off the bench. A brace for Tate. Less than 4 minutes remaining, but a little bit of pride salvaged.
It's been brilliant, Tate, since he came on, but he's just let go of it.
Matthew,
Oh dear.
we're going to review that. I don't think he knocked it on. Review, please. Full review.
Don't think what?
Don't think he grounded it, Matthew.
Oh,
But
dear.
review.
I
gave him the full Monty as well. Gave him the full flourish.
Didn't give him the full Monty, mate.
No, that's your department.
Coming up on the screen now, mate.
Well, that might just say more about Newcastle's day than anything else that's happened.
The trudge of front row forwards who've gone back to their own half to receive the kick-off. So we do the man of the match. After that slight disappointment for the Falcons. Look, this guy here, Turner, has been absolutely superb. Armand has done what he always does and been sensational, carrying around and work rate. Henry Slade gets special mention as well because he has been absolutely superb in the open chance. But the man who's controlled it, scored a try, made a try. The Aviva Premiership man of the match is Nick White.
Wing Commander White with the man of the match award. It's a magnificent display of facial hair. Penalty here to the Chiefs. And we are approaching the end game. Thoughts will quickly turn ahead to next weekend and the showpiece final.
Let's go. Let's play.
Decisions to be made over selection. Tight calls to be resolved. Bodies to be repaired after today's activities, but they have not really been tested out. They've made less than 100 tackles, Exeter. Whilst I'm sure they'll feel it tomorrow morning, it won't be quite the bruising that the Falcons will be waking up to.
Tactically got it absolutely spot on. Execution married up with that, but you're right. It's not really been a full examination of the Exeter Chiefs. They're going to have to work a lot harder next weekend. They've just been brilliant today.
Play on now. Play on. He's the first and only player on his feet.
Hill for Whitton. Turner involved again. Here's Jack Knoll. Lovely stepping from Knoll. Exeter on that front foot. Waldron, Steenson, Hill, Woodburn, sucking in those defenders. Johnny Hill. Holmes, already signed up for more at the age of 35. Steenson, Hill again. Woodburn. Combined with Skinner for the tackle. Skinner, one of the new breed. Lovely handling, and Moon is there.
No six!
Still the phase play from the defending champions. The phase play that has seen them dominate the league. Seen them dominate this afternoon. Whitton, Hill. Once more, strong defence from Chris Harris. Steenson, Mike Holmes. Lovely offload, it's Waldron, needing a step. Tate makes the tackle, but Almonds will put the cherry on the cake and send Exeter to Twickenham. Waldron the provider this time, and they're dreaming of that trophy once more.
Waldron showing exactly what's made him such a cult hero here, and Armand doing exactly the same. The work rate all constantly on the shoulder. Ball comes out, lovely little offload. He runs great lines, Waldron, that hard line back against the grain, and then he knows there's going to be someone there, and he just lifts it into Armand's path.
A final parting gift from Thomas Waldron to Sandy Park, delivering the try-scoring pass for Don Armand. And Steenson finishes the job, and the Chiefs will defend their crown. It'll be a battle royal against a hungry Saracen side, but a third consecutive final for Exeter. Disappointment for Dean Richards in Newcastle, just not at the races today. Pummeled, in all honesty. And a final score at Sandy Park of Exeter 36, Newcastle 5.
Tactically superb from the Chiefs, and the execution perfect. They came out against the wind, went through the phases. When they got opportunities, they took their 3 points. And then, as the game opened up slightly, they found their tries, they found their rhythm. Some brilliant individual performances, but the major strength of this team is them in unity.
That's it, Exeter Chiefs. We know they're superb here at Sandy Park. Great to see them back in the final at the Premiership next weekend. I just hope that people reflect on Newcastle, that they do remember the other 22 rounds in which they played, and they've been superb this year. Today most definitely wasn't their day. They didn't turn up in the races, but you can only just credit Exeter Chiefs. Congratulations to you.
Rob Baxter, a contented man, but he won't be fully contented until that trophy is back in the cabinet.